And now, behold, this nonsense in all of its glory. What was I supposed to do again? What is the current situation? I don't know, let me try to refresh my memory. As far as oh yes, I do seem to recall now. Unfortunate though this may be, we've had an encounter with Draconia. Yes, the princess of bone dragons, who has dispatched the king and thankfully decided to disengage afterwards. That's good news. And then Yellow decided to have a little gander at what I was doing. Has so far conquered a single town of mine, converting it to a city, thus boosting his income not insignificantly, not to say particularly significantly, is on his way to flag everything in this region, and thus all of this will shortly fall into enemy hands. Now the big question is whether I will be able to manage to get myself out of this mess. Yes, in time. Because my current plan was to head on north, gather what I can gather over there, especially the Nomad's Boots of Mobility, and then, and only then, possibly try to reconquer everything over here. This might not necessarily work out. Not anytime soon. But I don't have much of a choice in the matter. Now, as far as I understand it, therefore, what is of the highest importance is how quickly I can get structures up and running in various castles of mine. I'll not be getting upgrades beyond the upgrade to the archery range actually no, I'll not be getting any upgrades for creature dwellings in any of my other castles. And I have to pace myself, I have to pay attention to how much lumber I have at my disposal. Thus the situation in Solpigol, over here I believe, is reasonable. All the dwellings have been built, including the cathedral. The situation in Korakston is a different matter entirely. Over here we only have the thatched hut, which is effectively useless. We will not be recruiting any peasants whatsoever. We have the archery range, from which we'll take the archers, upgrading them further south. We have the blacksmith, but we do not have the armory quite yet. For that we needed the tavern, which we now have. Thus, presumably, what I should do is take all of that excess income in terms of mercury and sulfur, convert that into lumber, and then dump that lumber on the armory as the very next order of business. We can't build anything in Korakston this turn, but soon enough it'll be time to trade. Now, let's check the heroes. Actually, let's check the recruitment process. Let's check the kingdom overview screen. Olympus and Troy don't matter. They'll be captured soon enough. And I won't have to worry about them at that point. Wonderful. Ah, yes. As far as recruitment is concerned, the Citadel has 13 Crusaders already recruited. That's a lie, isn't it? No. 13 available. There are none recruited whatsoever. There are 13 left over. And there are 6 left over in Solpigol that I have to ferry over to the Citadel and then upgrade. I need the resources for that. What I'm desperately lacking is gold, I remember now. So what am I supposed to do? Trade away both mercury and possibly sulfur for gold to be able to recruit all those additional Crusaders? How many am I transferring then? What I need is the hero overview screen. Is there such a thing? You just switch to heroes on the kingdom overview screen. The more I look at it, the more I realize how similar this is to Master of Magic, just much simpler to handle. Yes, it's like what, a Lego version of it? It is a far simplified version, much more convenient too. Alright. This is the army we have on our Lord and Savior Alberon. I guess we'll have to switch out the trolls? I could switch out something else, but I don't think that's the way to go. Especially since he's got basic archery. No, that is an argument against switching out both the rangers and the trolls. But then again, what am I supposed to do? Am I seriously supposed to hang on to these rangers just because I have archery? There's only 36 of them. But then again, I can recruit quite a few and deliver them right to his hands. To his eagerly awaiting hands. I think he should have the rangers. So that basically leaves the trolls, not because they're a bad unit, even though there's 8 of them, which is a significant amount. He will not be getting any more anytime soon, so I can have a secondary hero lug these around. Right, what are all the heroes doing? The king is coming south to receive reinforcements. He's going to need them, desperately. What tiers 6 units do enemy heroes have? None over here on Zom. On Jacqueline, there's lots of Cyclopses. How many is lots? Lots is before the Hold. Hold is 50 to... So this is 20 to 49. Oh dear. Let's assume for the sake of argument that it's 49. Worst case scenario. If I were to match that with the number of Crusaders, that would be something. But can I actually do so right here, right now? How many do I have? 2. Well then, there are all those left to be recruited, but that's a whopping total of 19, bringing the number up to 21. So if the number of Cyclopses is on the lower end, and I can effectively dispatch them, this might just work out. Note the fact that Cyclopses are unupgraded and unupgradable, whereas I am getting a second tier in my Crusaders. They strike twice. So as much as retaliation is an issue, they might just be able to get the job done to this extent. There are also the stats on my hero to take into consideration. Yes, they are not insignificant, obviously. But still, this is a paltry force, and I'm embarrassed to have it. It's the best thing at my disposal. Why would I head south to this guy? What exactly am I trying to accomplish? What can I bring him with Gallivant? Is there anything I could actually recruit over here? Well, yes, I guess, but I don't have the gold to even do that. And as much as it may seem like it makes sense to just go over here and trade resources for lumber so that I can get additional dwellings, I don't have the gold to recruit out of those additional dwellings, which all seems to lead me towards a particular conclusion. That is, when, if I get to these chests, I should pick up gold. Of course, this gold mine would be nice to have, but obviously enough I can't go through the brown barrier. Would be pretty snazzy for me to snag that, but I cannot, obviously. Need to find the brown tent first. So what, do I keep Gallivant in the castle? There's Myra over here with the falses. And what is she trying to accomplish exactly? She's going to the castle to recruit the remaining Crusaders and then transfer them to the king. Okay, that's her job. What about Lord Kilburn? He is on his way to upgrade the forces and then deliver them to Myra. Ending the turn. Alright. Oh, here's Draconia. Well, we had our doubts as far as whether these factions are united in a common goal, or if they're not. Well, I guess we will find out soon enough, won't we? Draconia over here only has several bone dragons. That's a several too many. Consider the fact that she's got lots of upgraded liches. Archliches or Archliches. And then there are vampire lords, lots of them as well. And a swarm of skeletons. A veritable skeleton. Alright then, we've generated a bit of gold. We have a bit of cash on hand. We can recruit 5 Crusaders. We are swiftly moving through this. Which leads me to a certain degree of doubt. Should I actually just recruit all of them right here, right now, or should I pursue dwellings first? Because dwellings help me in the long term. Also, I could just trade away the resources I have for gold. I would be able to recruit significantly more Crusaders with that. Not saying that I necessarily should, because if I do not have enough wood... if I had enough wood, I could. Alright, fine. How about we trade for 10 units of wood, and then the rest goes to gold? How about we try that? Well, it's not going to be easy. Just getting 10 units of lumber is already plenty of special resources down the drain. And at most I'm going to get 100 out of a special resource, per resource. So what, how about I trade? But if I do that, I will not be able to get the jousting arena and so on. How much per Crusader? 1k. Yes, so if I get 2k for plenty of those resources, I'll be able to acquire a whopping 2 extra of them. Not worth it as far as I can tell. Should I get the dwelling first? I know I can. It costs me 2k, so that'll eat into the number of Crusaders I can recruit. But my goodness, I think it is a worthwhile long-term investment. And I think I'll be kicking myself if I don't do it right here, right now. Though, arguably, I could have gotten it towards the end of the week. Yes, but let's not dally. I could hypothetically, desperately try to go through these exercises in my head. I could consider all of those possibilities, but it'll just drive me mad now, won't it? Yes, and now if I move her out entirely, that's also not going to be particularly beneficial because the additional units, yes, that I need to deliver. Upgrade the archers or upgrade the rest. I can't afford to upgrade the... Oh, the agony. Fine. Fine, the archers will be delivered in a separate batch. Alright, Myra, have the Master Swordsman, the Veteran Pikeman, and the Cavaliers. And you give me a single unit of Rangers. There we go. Cavaliers, Champions, whatever. Now she'll deliver those reinforcements all the way north, as this guy... Yes, desperately tries to just upgrade the archers? That's kind of pointless. No, the archers have been left over here. So he should presumably go back to Solpigol. Has he visited these places? No, he hasn't. In that case, he'll head on over there, visit the windmill, Waterwheel, and so on. And he'll go to Solpigol, get the units from out there, and deal with the upgrades. Alright, what can the king do? That is indeed a brilliant question. What can the king do? Can he do much of anything? He should presumably head on south to desperately try and rendezvous, get the reinforcements, and then further down the line, head on north long before trying to reconquer that area. What will Draconia do? Will green and yellow fight? That's the most important question. I don't think they will. I think they'll get along just fine, which is not a pleasant thought. Alright. There's gotta be a better way to transfer units, but I can't see one. Alright. Myra has got all the units. She has taken the trolls, the world trolls. The bad news is, of course, that she will not be able to carry them, because if she is to take tier 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, she'll need all 5 slots that she has. So world trolls will have to fall by the wayside, so to speak. And now that she's done, she can return. Can she return, though? First things first. Let's get the king all the way north, because I know that's what I want to do. This Jezebel with mostly goblins? So what was Draconia doing there exactly? Posturing? What is going on here? Never mind. Never mind, can't divine their intentions. Lord Kilburn is going east. So hypothetically, Myra could head here. This is empty. It'll only stop being empty on day on day 1 next week. So I could wait until day 7. Have I seriously not visited the Heart of the Magi at all? Seems like a glaring mistake. Well, I'm not going to go there, face a pack of trolls with Myra. I would at least need solid reinforcements to do that. I could visit the windmill and so on. But then what is Gallivant supposed to do? He's supposed to take the units from over here. Let's go over there with Myra. Then Gallivant is going to... Did I recruit everything? Well, I can't get much of anything anyway, because I don't have the resources now, do I? It's not Salty Gold that I can get stuff in. It's right here. You need the blacksmith and the armory. We have both, so we just need 20 units of lumber and gold that we do have. Alright, fine. So, let's go to the trading post and try to acquire that precious lumber. 8 units can be acquired for sulfur. Fine. We'll get a total of 13 if we trade away the mercury. Do we need any ore over here? No, in neither of those cases. So we can trade away all the ore. Hello, Flame! It is good to see you. It is always good to see you. We are trading away all, and we are finally getting the jousting arena all the way over here. There we go. Alright, and with that out of the way, presumably I have to get all the reinforcements from over here, the way south, upgrade them over there, largely for free, with the notable exception of the archers, for whose upgrades I have to pay. We still don't have the paladins, we absolutely do not have the lumber to get the paladins, and won't have that anytime soon. Oh, and we don't have the gold to recruit these units, so that's also a bit of a factor, I'm afraid. But we may get some gold, some disposable income out of the windmills and water wheels. Desperate times, desperate measures, and so on. We will get a decent bit of gold every single passing turn. We do still control a number of outposts, so to speak. I don't know, I may ultimately have to end up restarting. It's not a pleasant thought. Right, what is Gallivant supposed to do? He was supposed to get the reinforcements. Can he actually acquire all of these guys? Yes, he can, thank goodness, because I am not getting any buildings this turn. Silver lining and all that. Alright, now we can get them all the way south, unless I want to wait until next week, then get reinforcements from here, then head south, which I don't. I don't have that luxury, I don't have that time. So ignoring all of the guys over there, which seems like a bit of a mistake since I can take them on right here, right now, with what I have. But ignoring them, I will head north, clear this out, get more artifacts, get more powerful, and only then face them. A group of champions with a desire for greater glory wishes to join you. Do you accept? Yes! And instead of having 30 of them, 30 champions, I now have a whopping total of 66! That was brilliant! My goodness! Not only did I not lose anything, I got 36 more of them. That is a huge chunky force, that's a tier 5 unit! With a lot of range. They can go quite far on the battlefield. So no, they don't necessarily engage a unit on the very first turn, but in 2 turns... Absolutely, pretty much anywhere and anything that's not completely blocked. So there's that they are significantly more important right now than my 5 piddly little crusaders that I'm logging over here. 66 champions! And on the top of that, I have just discovered the most valuable artifact in the entire game, considering how important logistics are. And you are hesitant to attack? Yes, because I am a coward at heart. Always have been. You have no idea what I was like back in the day. But Draconia's got so many bone... You know what? Can I take Draconia on with this falls? I might be able to, although I still need a couple more reinforcements. Tell you what, Flame. I think I should clear this out since I'm already here, and since if I leave things be, for all I know, enemy heroes will come here, take those artifacts, snatch them, go to the Xanadu, and so on. So if I clear this out, I should be good to go, and then I'll be able to retake these towns and castles. Especially since they'll get the opportunity to get captured and then upgraded by the enemy forces. I don't have that much lumber, and them just transforming them into castles is beneficial in as long as I don't leave them in enemy hands for too long. They spend the resources, but they don't get to recuperate the resources based on their income. And the AI doesn't cheat in this mod, in this remake of the engine. It's actually more than a remake of the engine. The game is somewhat re-envisioned, but they don't cheat as far as I understand it. They don't just get BS resources, they don't just get to do anything they want. So anytime they spend resources, well, they won't have them. Discovering a pair of beautifully beaded boots made from the finest and softest leather, you thank the anonymous donor and add the boots to your inventory. These are the traveler's boots of mobility. Feel my power. My liege, get some experience. Don't mind if I do. Is that Draconia? Because it may very well be Draconia. Guess what? It's Draconia. Always has been. It's Draconia with lots of bone dragons. Now I repeat, lots of bone dragons. That's between 20 and 49. I should match that with my Crusaders. Because her stats are also particularly beefy. Is Draconia the queen? No! She's a traitor to the crown. She's a usurper. Lord Alberon is the king. He's the one in charge. Now, you know, if these people were sensible, they could realize that this can absolutely be easily reconciled, now can't it? Once again, you can have both. You can have the cake and eat it too. It's not necessarily... It's not a mutually exclusive sort of scenario that Lord Alberon is the king and all Draconia is the queen. They could just get married and the entire issue would just go away. Sometimes these kinds of issues can be delayed in time but never resolved. Once again, Draconia could be queen and Alberon could be king as long as they're married. It makes perfect sense. Just think about it. I know that this sounds possibly quite anticlimactic, but it's probably the best sort of resolution for all the citizens of the Empire anyway. Instead of, you know, having them be at each other's throats. So, in a nutshell, what I'm saying is make love, not war. And I get it, you could try to argue with this logic, but there is some logic to it, don't you think? I mean, yeah, that's how the personal union of 1364 worked out, right? I think so, if I have my history correctly. Yeah, I would have to look into that, but hey. But yes, ultimately, that's how many things work out, and this is the way things this is the way things have worked out for quite a while. It's not even for centuries; it's far longer than that. It's the way things work out in the mafia. It's the way things work out in tribes. If you're literally family with people over somewhere, now that can lead to all sorts of conflicts, but that can also lead to far easier conflict resolution. Yeah, you have your differences, but my goodness, it would be quite awkward at the dinner table to just start murdering one another in a civil war. I mean, then again, I say this when playing Heroes of Might and Magic 2, where the main campaign is about two brothers feuding for succession. But still, at the same time, in principle, I think it makes perfect sense. Right, hold on. Here's Gallivant with the reinforcements. So let's do this in proper order. No, he's used up all his movement points. I could just wait here, or I could take off his hands what he's got to offer, which is just 2 units, and head on north, just march on north. Yes, and he could handle everything else. I would have to ditch the trolls. Makes perfect sense anyway. Alright, let's switch trolls for some other trolls. What a world. Roland was the... You know that does make perfect sense? Because yes, as far as I understand it in the original game, Lord Iron Fist was just some dude who arrived in this world from completely elsewhere. Yes, and then united the place under his Iron Fist. Which doesn't necessarily change the fact that... now I once again second guess myself. Is Roland better suited for the role of a king? Don't you have to be, say, firmer? I mean, Archibald is just comically evil, so maybe not the best sort of scenario, but then again... let's not chase the elves. Maybe under circumstances, having a firmer king is a better solution because overall he can keep the entire place together. Heroes 3 is restoration of Euraphia, so things do fall apart, although I don't know how. At the end of... I wonder if I'll ever get there. Well, I presumably should just get on with things if I ever want to get anywhere. Sheesh. Yes, if I ever get started on an RPG series. Wait, Euraphia is another... Oh, wait, hold on. So is Euraphia Catherine's homeland? Yes, because as much as I remember from Heroes 3, it's that you have Catherine Griffinheart. Well, Iron Fist, Nee Griffinheart. Returning to Euraphia, wherever that is. Enraf is also the continent. Classic. Absolutely classic. So like the city of Stormwind. In the kingdom of Stormwind. Just brilliant. Very straightforward. Very easy to remember. Wow, I filled all the slots. The City of Rome and the Empire of Rome. You know what? Yeah, you look at these stupid contrived things. Actually, that's one of my favorite things to do, ever. To look at these sorts of things in fiction that seem completely idiotically contrived, and then to realize, hold on, our world is exactly as idiotic as the fiction. Or even more. We have things happening in our world that in fiction would seem completely ludicrously contrived, things we would never accept. Because they would just be too outlandish and a bit too convenient. So they just wouldn't fly. But hey, real life doesn't have to be realistic. There's no such obligation placed on the world. Which is partially a huge reason why I expect the fiction to make a decent bit of sense. The world already doesn't, but fiction should at least try. As if there's one argument I hate, is the argument that it's just X. It's just X never works. I guess the argument of it's just X only works if you are actually dealing with a human being who doesn't realize that X is X, which happens very rarely. But anyway... Plenty of precious paladins that I have to recruit and upgrade. Oh boy. That I do not have the resources to do. It is day 7, so there will be more. I shouldn't even begin to try. Yes, I should just give up. Oh no, can I visit the... I won't be able to visit the windmill in time. Or will I? Actually, let's sit by this windmill. And as far as the king is concerned, well, he will get more experience and then fight a horde of griffins. Will they attack? Of course they will. They're griffins. Protect the rangers. There we go. The rangers have received adequate protection. That was a huge mistake that they'll never make again. Ah, look at them. Now, unfortunately, the Crusaders do not have that stopping power. Look at them. There's 5 of them. They won't be able to just chew through the Griffins. But as far as the Crusaders are concerned, behold. The champions deal 786 points of damage. What about the Crusaders? 205. But that's one slice. So it's about 4... So the Crusaders, 5 of them deal more than half the damage dealt by 65 champions. Alright? So they're not worth 10 of them, but they might be worth 5 or more. So if you want to draw comparisons, I guess this would be the equivalent of around 10, 12 Crusaders. Getting tier 7 units, therefore, even a reasonably small amount compared to a huge amount of tier 5 units absolutely is the way to go. The power growth is so immense. And it doesn't necessarily seem that way, not every single time. You look at, say, the Rangers. Now there's about 50 of them, but the same goes for the champions, and yet the Rangers seem to deal such an outlandish amount of damage. How does that work? They deal between 2 and 3, whereas these guys deal between 5 and 10. And yes, and these guys deal between 10 and 20. So it does make sense that it seems like twice the damage. Duh. So similarly, these guys are going to be roughly half as effective as tier 5 units, even though they're tier 2 units. I'm getting a better and better idea of the power curve involved. In your wandering, you come across a hermit living in a small tidy hut. Impressed with your mission, he takes time out of his meditations to bless and give you a charm against curses. This protects me against the curse spells. Now here is an important question. Do I take the experience all? Now hear me out, all, instead of trying to advance the king to level 19 very slowly, do I just take the gold and give him the reinforcements he desperately needs? Do I take the gold for once? I think I should take the gold. As much as I tend not to take the gold, I think in these circumstances, as I have mentioned previously, I should just go out of my way and take the gold. Recruit reinforcements, and you know, be on my merry way towards possibly reconquering the center of the map. I'll have plenty of time to get experience further down the line. We're taking the gold. This is basically the equivalent of a single Crusader. Gold acquired. Lots of Cyclopses. What did I say? This is lots of Cyclopses. Same sort of lots of Cyclopses as in that guy's army, except there's no hero leading them. Can I take this on? Can I? Really? There could be 49 of them, and they are tier 7. I'll take on the dwarves, thank you very much. Also, as you unfortunately can clearly see, green and yellow are not feuding. They're working together. They are conspiring against me. Alright, let's take all this cash. And get all these guys. Can I get all these guys? Well. Wait, what? Oh, right, of course. This is out of date. I only have 900 units of gold. Oh, and there's this unfortunate single upgraded ranger that I can't do it. No, I can take all of these other units, fine. As long as I am not willing to take any paladins, we'll be just fine. But once again, this is what I've been able to recruit on the first day. Perhaps I shouldn't expect myself to be able to recruit everything right off the bat. Perhaps. Do I wish to chase the dwarves? I don't know about that, the dwarves. But I didn't take the experience, though. Will I use units to dwarves? Let's chase down and kill the dwarves. I guess those champions have joined me because I've improved my diplomacy. Excellent. That's 1,500 units of experience. It was well worth it. Let's visit the Xanadu. The butler lives in the house, trains him in all the 4 skills, so +1 in everything. Oh look, several genies. That could really do a number on my... What do I teach at the Xanadu? Everything. I guess mostly combat skills, as far as I can tell. Not much else. Alright. So what next? Do I just attack the genies? By the way, there's a second pair of the Boots of Mobility. Does the effect stack? Because I think it may very well stack, and we are about to find out. There is also a tree. That is correct. Oh no, in order to get over... Oh! This is a new artifact. Something for the undead, I believe. Unsurprisingly enough. Okay, we'll get over here, clear this out, take the gold. We'll come back and deal with the Cyclopses momentarily. If they just halve any of my stacks, I'm not gonna have a good time. 24 rangers perish. How unfortunate. Well, that seems to have halved the count. Damn it! Buddy, the champions! Ah! Ah, that stings. Alright, 34 champions lost. Well. Well then. Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away, I guess. Even though this is the Lord. Lord Alberon here. I guess it could have been worse, couldn't it have? As I've mentioned, those were units I got for free. So whatever. Lady elves! Ow. Ow. Alright. 2 of these guys down. Reinforcements are in the process of being delivered, I guess. Either you hesitate to attack enemies that are easily dealt with, or you quickly take fights that are very risky. Yes, as we have firmly established, I just can't make these estimates properly. So one would most easily argue that it's a matter of experience, but then again, I have played this game for so many years, you'd think I would have gotten an idea by this time. It is not a pleasant conclusion, but what am I supposed to say? I mean, the facts speak for themselves, don't they? Maybe I just don't have the heart for it. Maybe it's just a matter of that. That I don't take the requisite time to actually properly analyze which tier and count of units I'm dealing with and how that may, how much of a threat that may be. Also, I'm in the process of learning that in Master of Magic, so that can also impact things. For instance, I have a rough idea of how tough a storm giant is in Master of Magic. I've learned that very, very painfully. Ugh. And I still can't get over it. Paul Shala. Anyway, let's get the gold. That is indeed a lot of gold. Storm giants are one of the strongest subtypes in D&D. Subtypes of giants, I presume. I didn't expect them to work like Titans do in Heroes of Might and Magic 2, where they can just, you know, throw lightning. I also didn't expect them to be able to do 10 points of damage in a single hit. That's 10 points of damage. In Master of Magic terms, that's a lot. I'm still traumatized by that. What could I have even done? Probably should have crafted some magical items. But do you actually roll unranged attacks just like you do on physical ones? Because if so, that would imply that with a 30% chance to hit, I believe unmodified, that hit on every single one of those counts, which is preposterously unlikely. Because that's 30% times... I have no idea. I would have to, I guess, analyze the situation further, as if it wasn't painful enough. Yeesh. Oh, and if you recruit units with no free slots over here, they just slot neatly into the hero. That's also a nice little convenient change. Either way, all I need right now are additional Crusaders, and I can recruit all the additional Crusaders I possibly want. Look at this. 8 additional Crusaders and all of these guys. So now all I need to do is get the upgrades over here in those structures, possibly wait up on the units delivered by Lord Kilburn, if I want to actually wait up for them, and deliver reinforcements north. I presumably should just head on there immediately, instead of waiting. Can I trade for lumber? Can I possibly get the cathedral over here? Because I have everything else. All I need... Nope. I just... There's just one small problem here. I need the crystals as well. And I can't afford both. Not by a long shot. Oh, look. Here's a... Whoa! No, 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 no! Okay, that crosses a line, quite literally. We have Tyro, who has teleported into the middle of my territory and is now threatening my complete annihilation, essentially. There he is! And I'll need a bit of my sweet, sweet time to get over there. I can't even get to the teleporter he has chosen for himself. Where is that? Where did he enter from exactly? Is it even possible, viable at any point for me to reach it? It was somewhere nearby, wasn't it? No, seriously, how did I overlook that? Oh, right here, right? I think it was right here. Well, this opens up an incredible, unfortunate can of worms. Not sure what I'm supposed to do about that, because now, well, I'll have to watch out for full attacks on numerous angles. I have not managed to recover from the previous blow, and now I have to try to cope with this. Can I actually manage? Alright, there's a batch of reinforcements I'm delivering over there. Can I take Tyro on with Gallivant? I think I might be able to. So perhaps I shouldn't have sent my king all the way to the south. You know, I'll make a save here. And I'll try to take this guy on with the reinforcements on Gallivant. He's only got a few phoenixes. And I've got more than that, because a few is between 1 and 4? Yes, with several being 5 to 9. So I should be able to take that force on. Possibly. If it's not his strongest hero. We shall see. He'll presumably clear out the trolls for me. Oh, he decided to attack. Well, that's another story in and of itself. And he is trying to protect his shooters by moving his phoenixes into position. And I have absolutely no spells on Gallivant. Well, that has worked out not oh so well. Now has it. Try to break through the unicorns to reach the phoenixes to eventually reach the grand elves. Oh, this is going to suck so much. Disrupting Ray. An absolute classic. What, do I just charge at the druids? I mean, they're the closest. Fine, let's charge at the druids. Ow. Slice at the unicorns. One perishes. I hope the Crusaders can deal with the dwarves, although a single Crusader has perished at the hands of the dwarves. 0 will perish, 0 to 1 will perish, 0 will perish. Fine, kill a dwarf. This is so pointless, isn't it? Yeesh. Well, I don't know, hurt a unicorn? None of this sounds particularly appealing. Well, at least they're dealing collateral damage to themselves. Oh no, bloodless on the phoenix! Horrifying, bloodthirsty phoenixes. Let's try to take them down, I guess. It's better than just trying to kill dwarves. The dwarves have been killed by the retaliation. So it's not all bad. I might be able to pull through. One unicorn and it will be slain. Down it goes! 10 to 15 points of damage and it's got 31 hit points. Seems like a good idea to try and take it down. Come on! It did not get lucky. Oh, I've lined them up so unfortunately. I've blocked the elves. Oh no, come on. Don't just stab my crusaders to death. That's so unseemly. No! They deal the same they deal the same amount of damage in melee as they do at range. Oh no. Fine, stab them, slay them. This will not end well, will it? Say goodbye to my champions. That was almost enough! Almost! So close! So close to being enough. Well, if I want to flee, now's the time to flee. I've almost managed. Oh, right! You're not supposed to lose, Gallivant. Well. Okay, take 2. How about we do not do that, and instead, I know, hole up in Corkstone or something. I should be... How have I not gotten the statue over there so far? Oh dear. Talk about an oversight. Fine. We shall visit the castle. And then stay there indefinitely. We should cut off those units all the way to the south, but we kinda cannot. And yes, the guy does clear out the trolls. Then heads out. So incredibly annoying. Alright, alright. With reinforcements from Gallivant, King Alberon should be able to make it. And my goodness, if he isn't, I don't know what to tell you, I don't know what to do. He clearly will be. It is absolutely a force I can tackle. Of course, one of the most annoying facts is that I've once again demonstrated my inability to make proper estimates as far as the outcomes of battles are concerned. I have failed yet again, and presumably not for the last time. But it was a close one. So actually I wasn't that far off. I figured it would presumably be a close one. It was a close one. Yes, so I think my estimate was actually perfectly fine. In which case I've made a mistake as far as my own estimates are concerned. By underestimating my ability to estimate. So I still can't estimate properly. Tyro, if you have Dimension Doll, I might just have everyone do the dinosaur. I'm just... I don't know what to say at this point. Things have just been going repeatedly from bad to worse. Alright, here are the reinforcements. I'll park them over there. Hopefully Tyro will fail to notice them. Is this lady? She'll head over to the castle. Hopefully she'll not get attacked. Fingers crossed. Can Tyro teleport to the other side of the mountain chain? He cannot. No! Like the coward that he is, he has decided to flee. Now is the time. The time is mine. The time is, yes, the time is now. We give these units to Alberon. Here, Lord Alberon, have some units. They're good for you. Now, Lord Kilburn can do what exactly? Pick up the loose archers over here. Visit the windmills and such. Lord Alberon, however, is this wise? No, he will chase him down and slay him. What if the... Ah, because he's standing on the opposite end, so I can't teleport. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, the gears are turning. You're telling me if I stand over here, no one can teleport to the other side? Well then. Now, I don't mean that I'll keep the king parked here indefinitely. However, I think I'll keep someone parked over there, just to be on the safe side. Sounds like a reasonable policy to me. The goats, the incessant bleating. Maybe I should have Lord Kilburn parked over there, I don't know. Someone should be parked. And someone, my goodness, will be parked over there. Oh no. Green necromancers are clearing out the beach. Ah yeah, that's Draconia in particular. How lovely. Hello there, Vatauna. Every single time I bring an overwhelming force to dispatch a smaller force on the enemy's side, every single time I do that more efficiently. That is, I lose more than they do in effective unit power measures. Every single time I'm making an effective trade. Am I not? Because if you have forces of similar sizes, presumably, unless you're a tactical genius, you're going to inflict a similar amount of damage on one another. But this is not a linear relationship by any stretch of the imagination. If you just manage to slay a unit outright, it's not going to deal the same amount of damage to you now, is it? Because it's dead. Yes, so I guess there are advantages to say first strike and such. Oh, look, Vatauna has fled. Just dealing a bit of parting damage to our rangers, but ultimately just having all those units lost. Instantly. Now here's Tyro. I presume I should just slay Tyro immediately. I could also just go there, retake these little castles and towns. Why don't I just do that? Is that not the way to go? Do I have this powerful army that can possibly just go out and take a castle? I don't think I do. Well, then maybe I shouldn't try? Oh, look. Perfectly positioned to take care of the phoenixes at the very start of the fight. And she doesn't want to flee immediately. Well, Tyro. Tyro doesn't want to flee immediately. Well, that's his problem. Ah, high morale, which allows me to slay the unicorns dead. What joy. And of course, Tyro flees. Oh, look. An eye on a stalk. Should I actually explore this area any further? Or, you know, we can have the cake and eat it too. I've teleported over here. I can just proceed to take the towns. Especially since we know that Draconia is over there. Yeah, so we can just play hide and seek, I guess. Or possibly tag. We can just stay away from Draconia and meddle as much as we can. Wait, if I want to effectively block the stone lifts, I need to stand on them while someone else is standing on them from the other side. Oh dear. So I would have to send 2 heroes to effectively block the lifts if I want to do this on my own. Which I can. I could send someone with reinforcements over there, teleport through, then, without moving off of the lifts on the other side, send someone else to send down the lifts over here, then they're effectively blocked. At which point, the original person returns over here the long way. But for now, I can't just stand on the lifts and block them, because that would just teleport me. But I have figured out a system. And the system makes sense. Alright, what is Lord Kilburn supposed to do? Hasn't he visited the Archer's house? Oh no, sorry, it's a new week and a new month, so he can pick up a couple of them, a couple more of them. Fine, he will just head on here and get what he can get. You know, the plan to take all of this stuff is nice and everything, but what about those numerous Cyclopses that I've evaded last time? Yes, also what about the fact that there's Thundax over here plundering all that I've desperately wanted to get for myself before I got sidetracked by Tyro and his little shenanigans. Well then. Guess there isn't much that I'm able to do in these circumstances. Now am I? Oh, I could hypothetically visit this watchtower and reveal more territory to better understand what is going on around me. I think that's the way to go. Upgrade the archers. Combine units. Get upgraded archers and get the champions. That's about it. Now I just go on out there, get these guys upgraded, and deliver reinforcements. Oh joy. One of my favorite things, just acquiring these silly reinforcements. From all the castles out there. Have I gotten units out of this castle of Solpigol? I don't think I did. Sorry, that's Korakstone. Of course it is. No, I haven't. Right there. Ripe for the taking. Alright. In that case, I think I'll have to get Myra to... Yes, first visit the water wheel, then Solpigol, then Korakstone. She's kind of overburdened. Whereas this guy is doing nothing of value. Instead of just heading south with a couple of paltry archers, he should go over here, get the units that I'm recruiting right now, and ferry them over here. See the kingdom overview screen. I have 14 leftover crusaders at Korakstone. I can recruit 6 of them this very turn. And in a couple of moments I'll be able to recruit all of them. I believe I should take them take them to the citadel, upgrade them, and then deliver them to the king. He's got 19. As soon as he receives those reinforcements, my goodness, he's going to have how many? 33, possibly more with the ones that are carried over by other heroes. Yes, indeed. 37, something along those lines. And just like that, we're back in business, I think. Now, I still, on top of the crystals, which I am generating slowly but surely, I do need a bit of lumber, but I have the spell all that I can trade for that. And just like that, we might be able to get the cathedral in a third castle. I think we're on the right track. Either way, thanks for watching, and you will see me elsewhere.